to practice sometime. Don't
All
worry.
right.
Don't worry. You ready for practice though?
No.
No? I'm sure you'll be fine.
Whoa.
What?
Did you see that?
No, see what?
It was like a spark underneath.
Really?
No? They're not going to do it
I
again.
didn't- Oh.
But there was like a spark underneath the train.
Huh. Well, why do you think that happened?
I don't really know.
Oh, make a guess. Make a hypothesis.
Hypotha what?
It's like an educated guess or like a theory as to why something happens.
Erin.
Come on, just make one.
Well, maybe there's lights on the train, right? So there has to
Okay.
be wires.
Okay.
So if there's wires on the train,
Yeah.
maybe if one of those wires like got loose underneath one of the wheels and it cut it, then maybe it made a spark. I don't know.
Okay, so that's one hypothesis, but I think in order to get like a correct answer, we need to have many hypotheses.
Erin.
Come on. Or we could also talk to an expert. You know what?
Erin.
Oh, hold on. Hi, Devin. Hey.
Always
Okay,
late to
meet us
practice.
at the New York Transit Museum. Okay? Awesome. See you there.
Erin. Practice starts in like 20
Leave
minutes.
no question unanswered and no answer unverified. Let's go.
Well, hello, we are here at Summer Streets with Omar. And Omar, I'm going to ask you a question, a hypothesis that I would like you to answer. So, first of all, have you been to the subway tunnels?
Yes.
And have you seen the rail tracks?
Yes.
And have you noticed sometimes that sparks come out of the rail tracks?
Yeah, a little bit.
So what's your hypothesis for why that happens?
From the trains going on the cutting a little bit of the tracks.
Uh-huh. Awesome. So you're saying when the train goes over the tracks, it cuts a little bit of the tracks and they come off as sparks?
Yeah.
Awesome. What is your hypothesis for what makes those sparks?
Something with magnetism and physics.
Something with magnetism and physics. Let's go a
Magnetism
little
and
more in
physics.
depth. So what causes those sparks with magnetism and physics?
Okay, so the train,
Yes.
some part of the train
Uh-huh.
goes against the metal of
Uh-huh.
the rails,
Uh-huh.
and some kind of reaction happens.
Awesome.
Combustion.
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 So the wheels, magnets, and combustion.
Yeah,
And then you get,
words.
and that makes the sparks happen.
Yes.
All right, see you in a bit.
So why did you want me to meet you at the Transit Museum?
Well, earlier today we were at the station on the way here, and Erin saw some sparks coming off the tracks, and we wanted answers.
I see. So answers about what specifically?
Answers about why is there electricity coming out from underneath the train car?
Got it.
Devin, what do you think's going on? What's your hypothesis?
Well, you know what? Let's ask my new friend James.
Okay.
Come on,
All right,
I'll
cool.
introduce you. This is James.
Hey, James.
Hi,
I'm Erin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
you.
This is also Erin.
Hi.
Hi.
So we had a couple of questions about trains. Could you answer some of them?
I would love to.
Okay, great. So we're here at the Transit Museum, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So could you tell us a little bit about like the history of trains or something cool about trains?
Yeah, sure thing. So in New York City, we've actually had a subway for 112 years. It was built, it opened back on October 27th, 1904.
1904, wow.
Happened,
Earlier today we saw sparks coming out from underneath the train. Could you tell us a little bit why that happens?
Yeah, absolutely. So in New York City, our subway actually runs on electricity. And for our trains to get electricity, we have a special train track called the third rail. We can actually see a third rail right here in front of us. This is a small section of subway track. This is the third rail. Actually carries 625 volts of electricity to power our trains. That's a lot of volts. It's about 5 times the amount of electricity we have in our wall outlets at home. And the reason you're seeing sparks is because there's a special thing on the side of our trains. There's a piece of metal right here. This is called a contact shoe. Every train has these contact shoes on it that let the electricity go from the track into the train. And sometimes there are gaps in the third rail. Sometimes the contact shoe will actually leave the third rail and there might be a little arc and then you'll see a little flash or spark of electricity.
Okay, great. So that electricity, is that just what makes the lights come on in the trains, or?
It powers our lights on the train. It powers the air conditioning, those automated announcements, and most importantly, the motors that make the train move.
It makes the train move. Wow, that's
Yes.
pretty cool. So we also had one other question about, well, Erin and I live on the 125th Street train off of the 1, and we noticed that that train is above ground versus a lot of the other trains, because it's a subway system, is below ground. So could you tell us why that is?
Right, yeah, sure thing. So imagine if you took the subway and it felt like a roller coaster ride. Would that be fun?
No, I don't think so.
Probably, maybe sometimes you might get sick of it after a while. When we were building our subway, we didn't want it to feel like a roller coaster ride. But in Manhattan, the ground is not level. There's lots of hills, especially in Upper Manhattan in the neighborhood you're talking about. So we don't want our trains to feel like roller coaster rides. So by 125th Street, there's a big dip in the ground. So we had to make the trains go outside to keep the track level.
That makes sense.
That does make sense. All right, well, James, that was all of my questions.
Yeah,
Thanks so
thank
much.
you so
I learned so
much.
much from you.
It was great to meet you.
Thanks. Great to meet you as well.
Thanks.
Sure thing. Bye.
Erin, isn't it great that you have answers now?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, well, we're late for practice, so we'll just practice on the train ride home.
Okay, cool.
Guys, you guys wake up. Wake up. Why are you sleeping? Oh, man, just like all the information that James told us at the New York Transit Museum was just so interesting. Like how he talked about the 125th Street station, how it's above ground because of the level of the land, or like where the land is at in comparison to the stations around it. Like, did you guys ever think about that before?
Not really.
Not really? I don't know. I just found it so interesting, so fascinating. You guys are tired? It's been a long day. Well, we're on our way to practice now. I think we have like 20 more minutes, so I'll just sing you guys to sleep. Da-da-da, da-da-da.